Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living Force. Good to see everyone tonight. So, let's recap last session. You all had, in the middle of a conflict in Gadrin there on Kularan, dealing with an uprising, chaos in the city from an unfortunate death at the hands of the Theron military, an officer kind of acting out. You were then called upon by Austin Delnay of the Kularan militia to go in to the Theron home base there in the city of Gadrin, as they had some captives. Basically, a rescue mission. You would head into that and were successful in grabbing those individuals, getting them out. Also retrieving some data, some information to hopefully help, implicate the Therons in what they're doing. Just really, even before that, find out what they're doing and why. So while that conflict has kind of simmered down on a little bit, Valin, you are contacted by Master Lanius, the Almas Academy. He has requested your presence back there for a special mission. Has asked that you can bring along your counterparts, as there would be use for some extra hands in this job.
All right, well, looks like they need me back at the academy. Sounds like they might actually need a few extra hands. Would you guys like to come along? I don't know if they'll pay you or not, but after the payday we all just got, probably don't need to get paid right away.
Yeah, and I missed in the recap, the wonderful fight that Lan participated in and succeeded against all odds, and definitely earned quite the additional reputation as a competent fighter. On top of the payday from the job, and then also your gambling winnings. You guys are pretty set in that regard.
I'll have to put another line on my business cards.
I have nothing better to do.
Like, Dak, how about you? It's like, whoa, actually, he doesn't look too good. I think he's caught that, what do we call it? What's the COVID-19 of Star Wars?
Shit. Doomer, what was from Tempest feud?
Oh, I'm forgetting.
A Kratos virus, which technically would work.
I forget what was in there, but yeah. Yeah, Dak is he's just kind of feeling out of it. Maybe there's some apprehension of going to the Almas Academy, and knowing that, he may have some connections with the Force, for whatever reason, but
we don't know that.
He's just unavailable. Yeah. But anyway, the rest of you head off to Almas, speak with Master Lanius. I think maybe Dem has not yet been out there, but Lana, you have, I believe, along with Valin, probably at least once. You're somewhat familiar with it. The academy, sitting there in the center of the city, this city that's just built up largely around the place. You come in and you arrive in at the academy, and you sit inside Master Lanius' very austere, a few mementos and whatnot, and comfortable chairs. And you see Master Lanius it seems that he pays attention to these sorts of details and has a good sense of hospitality for you all. Some snacks and drinks and things for his guests. His gaze as he sits there before you, it can be piercing, even disconcerting, but he looks each of you briefly and with a smile. Lingering, of course, on you, Valin, the fellow Padawan of the Academy. Friends, you have been of service to Kalaran, helped our academy more than once in the past. Some of you have personally helped me, and now I ask to help our Padawans who are near becoming knights. In the dark times, since the Battle of Geonosis, the Jedi Order has greater need than ever before for properly trained knights. And I must emphasize the phrase properly trained. I have a couple of missions that I would like you to undertake, without letting any of the Padawans at the Academy know you're doing them. He looks at you, Valin. Other Padawans. I have confidence that you all are the right people for the task, and first, it is acceptable as part of the trial of the lightsaber that the parts for the saber's construction can be provided by others. However, the prospective knight, as one of his or her trials, must build the device himself. And with things as they are, we cannot afford the time to let our Padawans troop all over Kularan system on a scavenger hunt for parts. I have a shipment of specialized energy cells used for lightsabers coming in from out system, and those will be delivered. However, there are other runs that I would like you to make. An old friend of mine, a Celestin, named Snem Noob, runs a factory on Edict Bar. Man, you'd probably be familiar with that. Dem as well. Edict Bar is one of the platform cities there above Generis. It's mainly I believe Sorsub kind of really built that up. Like it's essentially, you know, their platform city.
Yeah.
Sneb manufactures plasma relays, power conduits, and drive components, as well as some other starship systems. And as a favor to us, he also makes up package lots of some of the components for lightsaber. The activation plates, blade length adjusters, emitter matrices, lens assemblies, and power conduits, to list a few. I'd like you to go there and pick up 10 sets. They are paid for, ready to go. Just be prepared. Snem won't likely let you go without a tour of his plant. He's a typical Celestin and very proud of the business he's built. In truth, it's only marginally successful, however. Competition is fierce. The second task is a little more dangerous, but something I know that you all can handle. There's a secret deposit of Edagan crystals known to us at the fringes of the asteroid belt, on a rather unassuming rock. It's almost exhausted, but there should be a few left. We'd like you to go there and extract the last few crystals and bring them back. Then we'll have to find a new source.
Sounds easy enough.
Yeah, he sits there just kind of waiting for a response. Any questions or anything like that?
I was talking and my mic wasn't on. Sorry. I was like, why isn't it doing anything? Like, well, no, they don't seem too difficult. We've had some adventures out in that asteroid belt. That shouldn't be. I mean, it's tricky. Don't get me wrong, but it's doable. As for these supplies, is there any harm to letting the Solistan show us around? Maybe we get a better price. I'm not sure if he pays or if he requires payment from the Jedi, but if we can cut our costs down to, you know, be friendly with him. I don't see why that
Oh,
would hurt.
it's already taken care of, Valin. It simply just need you to pick up the goods.
Okay. So
No need
don't
to be concerned about that.
don't feed his pride and ego. Is that what you're saying?
Certainly humor him if he insists on taking you around. But
Okay. Just as long as it's not like the last tour of a thermal detonator factory we had to do. I think I'm
Oh.
good with that.
Snem is a good lad. I don't think he'll run into any.
Okay. Now these Adegan crystals, normally it's the Jedi themselves that have to go find them. I understand time's limited and everything, but will this do what they need if we go out and get them instead of them, or are they perhaps gonna do something with the crystals that makes them theirs, makes them unique?
Well, Jedi is going to get them.
Well, I mean,
But I
you know what I mean.
understand, yes. You are a very bright young student, Valin. I know that you study well and are likely aware of our methods being a little bit different than those at the, temple on Coruscant, for example. We feel that the Padawans will still be able to make that bond, that connection with the crystals, even if provided in this manner. But
Okay.
I
Sorry.
appreciate and commend your concern there.
Well, I don't want them to come all this way and fail their trial.
Understood, absolutely.
Because everyone's happy.
So these Adegan crystals are, I assume, it's a small asteroid, or are they located with some sort of beacon that we can find them, or is it going to be a matter of hunting ourselves to get the last of them?
It is a smaller rock out there. It should not be too difficult to go and find those once you touch down. Yes, I think given the nature of the crystals, it's something that I have full faith in you being able to locate.
Okay. So you need both of these done, or only one of them?
Both tasks, yes, must be completed.
Simple enough. Guess what do you guys want to do first?
Why don't we talk to the seller first and get that out of the way? We can go
And then
collect
on the way
crystals.
on the way back we can get the crystals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I hope Dak's gonna let us use his ship.
I'm sure he'll be fine flying, but I don't know if I want to be too close to him,
No, you're right.
Give him some-
We can have
Ufta knows
wide berth.
his way around the control sticks, and
Yeah. We can
There
get
you go.
Ufta to do it. And, I'm not so bad myself. Not something I'm exactly practiced in, but if someone's got to do it, I think I can do it.
I'm
I
not
say
not near as good a pilot as Dak, but I used to have my own ship back a time ago.
No.
Oh boy.
You want to give it a go? So we're all doing something new, apparently.
It's been a while since I've been behind the sticks, but I can give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? Let's switch it up a little bit. See how well we do when we're not in our element.
Oh boy. Sure, this will go great.
Well,
So-
all right.
go ahead, yeah.
I was the same, Master. All right, Master. We'll get right on that. We're bringing them back to the academy?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I wrote that part down. But... All right, we'll get right on that.
So he stands to kind of gesture for everyone else to walk you guys out, and says, "Young Valin, a moment." As Lan and Dem kind of step out, he just pulls you in and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "I have full confidence in you in this task. Just remember that every task before you can be a trial in its own. Be sure to remember that it is the way of the Force that's there are many ways to approach a situation."
Yeah, I'm reminded all too often of that, especially recently. I need to remember to keep my head. There was a moment on our last mission where I was very angry at what they'd done. Thankfully, I did the right thing, but who knows? The more opportunities I give myself to do the wrong thing, the more likely it becomes that it happens. But I'll try to remember that and keep myself out of harm's way, and others as well.
I have full confidence in that.
Thank you.
May the Force be with you.
And you as well, Master.
To head off, he escorts you out. You're able to hop back into your starship.
Can I
By Hunter?
re-up
Yeah.
my trauma kit? I just wanted to re-up that while I'm here.
Yeah.
Cool. Just a brief little thing.
And with that, you can pile in and set a course back to Generis. Head to Edic Bar. See how to go after these parts, these supplies for the light. Lan, you said you were taking over for the trip?
We're sure gonna try to.
Do it.
If you won't do it, I'll do it.
All
If
right.
I don't, if I put a scratch on this thing, Dak will never let me hear the end of it. But that's never stopped me before. Let's do it.
I got an idea. We can just dig our own scratch into it now, so that when it does inevitably happen, we just say it was already there.
Give me a
There you go.
piloting check.
Do any of us actually have piloting proficiency?
I do.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
This is
Let's go.
this comes back to land just like, like riding a bike. You just, get back on it and like you never left. So always more fun. You always more enjoyed, sitting in shotgun, but when you need to get up front, you're able to. You get the Spry Hunter airborne and flown safely to Generic. It's actually a pretty uneventful flight considering some of the travels you've had in the past.
Yeah, we've had some rocky trips. That's for sure.
Quiet is good.
Ufta commends your skill as well. Yes, Master Jolt, your abilities are quite impressive. It is good to have more than one skilled pilot aboard.
Yes, redundancies are always good to have. Speaking of which, Ufta, remind me to get you scheduled in for a backup. You're a valuable member of the crew, and I wouldn't want some kind of EMP to wipe your brains out. Redundancy.
Why, thank you.
You're very welcome, Ufta.
The droid, if he could, you think that he gives a absolutely sincere expression of gratitude.
Yes.
Finally being nice to him. Wow.
Lan also speaks
What a
binary,
change of pace.
so
True,
Oh.
yeah.
yeah. want to be friends with droids.
It's true.
Valin, are you still working on your animal training?
Yeah, we haven't really had any
Yeah, you know,
opportunity
I
to
think-
advance that.
Oh gosh.
So I mean, it takes
I think
a
we're what 5 weeks out of
few
40.
hours here.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of the various travel you guys have had. The last time we did that. Yeah, let's go ahead and make up some time here. Give you guys like a week worth of downtime. Dem, I think were you working on something? Is that a different game?
I think that's a different game. I wasn't doing anything so far.
It's hard to keep your stuff
Yeah.
straight.
Lan,
For real.
is there anything you were working on downtime or?
Yeah, I was working on actually getting proficiency at Sabak.
Sabak, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Valin, go ahead and let's do, if you want, go ahead and give me some checks for your animal handling. Train in that.
Okay, so what do we do here? Let me pull this up.
I think we were doing an animal
Training.
handling check.
I don't remember at all.
Because it's either the base skill, which that's wisdom, right? I mean, it's the same thing.
Yes.
And then that will determine your modifier for the 100.
Okay, so I just do an animal handling roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was almost a 20 on my
Bad,
screen.
Yeah. So that's gonna get you. I don't know. And plus, it is a plus 10. So I give a D100 plus 10 result.
Ah,
Hey, well, you get out what you put in. 1 week of
Yeah,
time
okay. That's
towards your training with Jib.
I'll take it. Did you say Jim?
Jib.
Or oh,
Right?
I think you said
Jim.
Jim. Yeah.
Jib changed his name. All
He
right,
decided
so
to change his name.
I'm doing hours. That's 40 hours.
If that's what he wants to do, it's up to him.
And Lan,
s-
you know, there's definitely time. You know, it's all autopilot here, so you can step away and
No, the other
maybe
one.
try
Yeah.
your hand with
And
Ufta
then
or
you can
anyone else.
Do the thing. See? Yeah.
And
It's okay.
have a few
It's like,
few quick hands of Sabak when hyperspace lane
What?
is clear.
okay.
Alrighty, yeah. So go ahead, give us a. Do you have the Sabak set?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. Do you remember what we were using for that? I think you're
I think intelligence.
okay.
Yeah, it must be intelligence because
That or
What else
or
would be-
charisma would be really. I mean, they're
yeah. Well, hopefully not charisma. That's I got a minus
okay.
2
Then
on
yeah,
that.
yep. Go with straight intelligence. Intelligence using playing the game. Very nice. So that'll give you a plus 20. Oh, plus 15. Sorry, 5 more than Vale. On your D100. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
This is fitting. I have to pilot and try to do it.
So
Getting distracted.
without Dak around, and you were trying to just teach the droid some things, and Ufta just can't make right or wrong of these cards, and you unfortunately make no progress picking up being better at the game yourself. So
Should have upgraded you to the paid version of Pazak Plus. I'm sorry. I cheaped out where I shouldn't have.
Ufta is takes it to heart. He's bummed he couldn't help out, but nonetheless. So beyond that, you guys do arrive to Genarius. Other than that, the trip is uneventful. You have business with a known manufacturer here on Edict Bar, and so movement through docking and inspection is expedited once your manifest is checked out. Very nice.
Hey.
You know, coming here that the law level is pretty high, and there's no allowed unlicensed restricted weapons, and they also have a ban on long weapons, long rifles, carbines, etc. So pistols, things like that are really only what they allow here on Edict Bar.
Gross.
Yeah, it's a good thing my weapon is an extension of my own body, so I don't actually have to relinquish it for religious reasons.
The
That and
hand
I can hide it.
exemption.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, yeah, most of my stuff's fine. I'll leave my blaster carbine though. I feel like they'd probably pick up on that one.
Lan, you got anything extra to bring along other than rifle?
I have my vibro dagger.
Okay.
And
Probably have something in your loot pile, I would think.
yeah. My gun has a collapsible stock, so I can also try to conceal my rifle.
Okay. Yeah. Is that's specifically what that does, right?
Yeah, it gives you a bonus to sleight of hand to hide.
Okay. If you want to do that.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think I'm gonna stick with the rifle.
You break that down and stow that away, hoping to get past inspection, as you just don't feel right without it, you know.
Oh, if we have time while we're on the way, I can buy a Camtono to put the parts in or something, keep it locked. If there's a place, I would have been able to do that because I have so many credits now. I could have bought that.
For your weapon.
Yeah, like a container for the weapon.
Mm-hmm. I would say that give me an investigation check.
Oh.
Okay. Unfortunately, a little bit of a quick turnaround. You weren't able to locate an establishment that was going to provide that. They're on Almas. Just wasn't really something they had, and then you guys came right into Edict Bar and right in through the inspections. So,
Yeah.
fortunately, you couldn't grab that this time. But still
Alright.
can hopefully rely back on old methods of keeping that thing hidden. So,
Yeah.
go ahead and give me
Yeah.
your sleight of hand check, utilizing your bonus for collapsible.
I think it's +2. Didn't.
+2.
Doesn't say. Yeah, it just says I have advantage. I don't get a plus.
Oh, you get the hidden property. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Dem is still like pretty loaded out.
I do have
Alright.
a vibro dagger and vibro baton as well if you guys need them.
Okay.
So
So, Lan, you've maybe done this before. You break that rifle down. Got pieces up your sleeves and on your pant legs and things, in your boots, whatever. And also maybe just comes off with some confidence that you bring that you're clean and they don't find anything. So you're able to bring the rifle in along with There is a speeder there waiting to take you to the factory. You guys pile in and head off, and it's another kind of uneventful trip. It's certainly a striking city compared to the hives of scum and villainy that you may have seen orbiting Generis otherwise. Edict Bar is a pretty beautiful city. The towers and buildings, all in accordance with latest civil engineering concepts, but the view of the city's gleaming spires set against the backdrop of the gas giant definitely, may catch some of you, catch your breath in your throat with that. Sharp angles and reflective surfaces, make it the jewel of the clouds. You arrive to the factory and are greeted by a middle-aged male Celestin, twinkle in his eye and visible laugh lines in his face, and he seems genuinely pleased to meet all of you. So Lanius has trusted you with this precious shipment of lightsaber bits. You must be greatly important people.
We like to think so, but maybe we just have everyone fooled.
More importantly, Master Lanius trusts us.
But of course, heroes of Kularan system, if I recognize some of you as I believe I do, I am quite honored. Please allow me to show you the establishment, and then I will speed you on your way with your parts. Well, not your parts, but the parts for the lightsabers. Oh.
Yeah, it'd be our pleasure.
We can have a brief tour, sure. Nothing wrong with that.
You get a sense that Sem is a humble individual, but his establishment is as close to state of the art as you can get. Other than showing signs of the constant upgrades that it receives. It's the only way to stay competitive, he laments, and I have to sink almost every credit of profit back into the operation to stay current. Of course, if I only use people for the jobs requiring true intelligence and decision-making. Automation and low-level cheap droids, they've allowed me to economize. He leads you through a variety of factory floors where Starship system parts, power system components, and a myriad of small electronics are being fabricated. Welders, flash, seamers and magna rivets hiss and clatter, and circuit board etchers crackle and fume. Conveyor belts move in dizzying patterns, and each floor has a central computer node and droid command nexus. There's a number of other clever recycling and economic innovations that can be seen. Each room has its lighting augmented by large, long tubes of glowing ionized gases running overhead just below the ceilings. Snim explains, since we manufacture and bottle blaster gases and ion cannon charges as part of our operations, I thought, well, we're stripping electrons from the atoms anyway to make ions. Why not recycle the electrons as extra current and use the cooling ion plasmas to supplement our light sources?
Ooh,
That's a good idea.
innovative.
What, does it pose any sort of potential danger?
Well, to the droid workers, absolutely. So it must stay contained. And other equipment, of course, it is ion gas.
That's fair enough. It's like, do we notice anything about it? I guess anything that would stand out to, lay people? Anything look more, what's the right word? Is there any one part of it that looks more fascinating than the rest?
The facility?
Yeah.
What you've seen so far, not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely an impressive facility, but yeah, nothing. I wouldn't say anything stands out. But You come to the next to last floor of the tour. You see that this is likely one of the original rooms for the factory expanded and upgraded. The equipment here looks significantly older, and the droids are rather out of date, though in still fine repair. The simplest, most mechanical tasks seem to be going on here in this. There's a cacophony of sound as chip parts drop from wall openings onto conveyor belts, which guide them through a dizzying path of welders, insulation foamers, enamel bakers, arc welders, magnabolters, and other machines, all under the watchful receptors of worker droids. Something, though, that strikes you is that they don't look like worker droids. Other than a few astromech style, you see factoid battle droid, B1s.
So, are there other organics around at all?
Just SNEM yourselves.
Okay. So I'll kind of take out the vocoder mask. I wanted to put it on earlier, but I never said so. But in Solus D's, which that has, I want to ask him. He's like, I hope I'm not intruding, but I couldn't help but notice the particular style of droid you have.
Oh, yeah, yes. Got a really good deal on them.
Are they newer model or older model?
Oh, they are. Yeah, they are older. They, right after the Battle of Naboo, cleaned up on them. I had to fix them up a bit, but they, adapt them with some plasma welders, but they do good work. They do the job.
And, I don't mean to doubt your skill, but you did disable their combat subroutines, I hope?
Oh, I certainly.
And how would I actually know that they're remote controlled? Like how they were powered by the ship
Like what
remotely?
Valin?
Yeah.
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. I was just thinking if I knew they were older model, maybe that would be something he would know.
Hey.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd say
Ooh.
that knowledge is going to come across in any research during the war effort, etc. So,
Well, I guess my question to him then, knowing that, is like, so how are you powering these things? It's my understanding that they needed to be remotely controlled and powered. I mean, you have immense amount of power running through this facility, obviously, but is it here or is it somewhere else?
well, actually, they operate, mostly receive their signal programming within the room here, over in the, central control nexus. He gestures over to an area over there, and you see another droid over in that area as well. And there's actually a SNEM's comm goes off, a little comm link that he has. He says, I'm sorry, excuse me. Grabs that, and on the other end, you hear a familiar voice, robotic voice of the B1 style droid. Sir, incoming transmission from Ipsis regarding the offer again. Shall I expedite? And you see SNEM kind of blinking, and then responds into his comlink again. Whatever for? I told him no. I will not change my mind. The droid comes back. Expedite? There's a moment again, and SNEM kind of lets out a sigh, and he says, "Oh, very well. Accept transmission. Route it here rather than to Central. I may as well hear what the offer is this time and reject it again." The droid nods, and you hear through the comlink, "Expediting, Roger, Roger." And you can see in the distance the droid working on something in the console. It's hard to see. Give me inspection or perception checks.
Oh, perception checks all around. Whew.
Good rolls. Valin and Lan, you see the droid over there working away at something at the console, and it's kind of like it's the length of time that it seems for the transmission to be coming through that strikes you odd. As you know, the droid had said expediting this transmission, and then he's over there punching away, and nothing is happening. And a few moments go by, and then all of a sudden, the entire factory floor seems to just come to a halt. Activity simply stops for a split second, and then reboots and goes into chaos. The conveyor systems along the floor seem to be going at a higher rate, jerking back and forth. All the machinery and equipment and things that build the parts, lasers and foamers and all that, they're just going all haywire and whatnot. And then the droid at the command control nexus that was with this call comes back over the comlink nem and says, "Expedite, exterminate." And Snem just got, my word, no, please, no, please.
Sounds like he's been infected with the Dalek virus.
Oh no.
Anything we can do to help?
Besides exterminate them?
Yeah.
So down in the lower left, we come in, and you guys see that there is,
Choppers everywhere.
yes. You see this. You see the spread of the conveyor system. It's on the ground level, that is moving all around. It goes into doorways that lead out of the room where parts come in and move out, but those go and close down shut. And then you have various parts all around, drillers, lasers, blades that are cutting parts and things, all going haywire. Snem rushes forward to this pillar in front of you and hunkers down and just says, please don't destroy anything. It'll ruin me, but please do what you can. And it's at this moment, however, that one of the droids steps up, and his modified Magnabolt blaster that he has in his arm, he actually fires it towards the group.
Nope.
And Snem, what? You see he's very confused at this, and he says, they're trying to kill me. Please do what you have to, but if you can, please try and save things.
We've got you.
We'll
try
start
and
with your
limit the
life,
damage,
and we'll
but
save everything else after.
yeah, as it comes.
Let's get some initiative.
I don't know what's going on. This thing kicked me out, and then it's having a hard time load. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Come on, big numbers. Yeah.
You all good, Valin?
I think so. Yeah, okay, I think so.
Okay.
I almost feel
Did I-
bad for Bactroid Worker.
Did mine actually roll? I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know what the hell happened. Oh, now it's all showing up.
Yeah, I think just
What
maybe
is-
a load in.
What is wrong with this thing?
There's no, you have a view. I put in some walls. That's what you're.
No. It was like all the dice showed up all at once.
Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
finally loaded up for you. Okay.
It's like here's all the dice that were rolled in the last 10 minutes.
All right. So we get to the beginning of the round of combat as these droids seem to have gone haywire as they're littered about. Okay.
So is it all the droids going nuts or just the B1s?
I mean, what you can tell initially is that the B1s are on the fritz. At least
Okay.
the one has, and then you can also tell that the entire factory is something's up with the factory, of course, as well as things are going crazy. So, the over here is where that nexus is. That the droid was there doing something. Trying to so. Dem, you are up.
Well, I got a long way to run, huh? Because you said so far we haven't seen the astromechs be like funky.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna disregard them because I love a good astromech. And
Your bias is showing.
yeah, no, it is, especially because it's Chopper.
For R2.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Chopper.
Oh, and it's I didn't see that.
I was like, I can't do him dirty like that. Okay. I'm going to look around. Just, first off, just trying to like get in there, So we're gonna move 30 feet and then, oh, there's one over here. I'm gonna use my bonus action to cunning action and move, and dash another
Okay.
25. And then I'm going to use my regular action to try and smack this dude upside the head with my vibro rapier.
Okay.
Hello. And and let's just be normal. Oh, Kerchow.
That will hit.
Yay. Okay, and then that is, no time like the present.
Ooh.
All right, hefty hit to the droid. You see they've been a little bit modified. You almost take them out. Barely hanging on there.
Yeah, Dem just like gets in there and tries to mess up as much as she can here, but it's gonna wait in anticipation of that strike back.
Okay. On the droid that's at the control nexus, he just kind of stays there for now, and it looks like he might be still kind of punching around things in the system. A little astromech here kind of begins waddling his way over.
I think it's 25.
Yep. Okay. So he just kind of starts moving over.
Uh-oh.
Lan, you're up.
All right. Move up this way. Can I try to get up here? This is a wall, right?
Nope, it's a conveyor system on the floor. It's actually on the floor
this
level,
is the
so
conveyor system.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna hop up here, and I'll take aim and fire at this worker droid here.
Okay.
My rifle.
That'll definitely hit.
Healthy, healthy. All right. Land's taking another shot.
Sorry, that would take that droid out.
Oh, okay. Great.
I wasn't paid.
Well, I'll be shooting at the next worker over here.
Okay.
Will 17 hit him?
Yes. Okay, pretty solid hit there.
And I will, with my bonus action, I'll toss a little barrier device, tactical barrier, onto them.
Okay.
And that'll
Thank you.
end Land's turn. Stay safe, Dem.
Okay.
The astromech nearby you, Lan, you see beeps around, spins his dome, and whirs
That's
up
not a good sign.
to you. And
Hey there, little fella.
So with that translator mask on, and I have binary, do I hear what he said? Like, did he just say kill in binary or something?
I'm gonna take you down.
he's saying exterminate. So
Oh no, then Land speaks binary. Land is scared.
he moves up and he comes up to you, and you just see this this pretty solid like tube shaped device come out of his chassis, and there's a little flame at the end of it.
Oh, easy there. Easy there.
So go ahead, click your token, and then give me that saving throw there. That will save.
Ooh.
We'll take half of this damage. So 6 points. The droid rolls over towards you, and you hear him in binary. Exterminates, and this little arm that comes out of his chassis ignites and hits the spray of flame towards you, and you get out of the way of most of it, but it still catches you decently for some fire damage, and you kind of bat out the singe there. And that is its turn. And at this point, the Celestin Snem is there behind. He just says, I don't know what's going on. What? If you can, please try and spare the droids and the equipment, but this is chaos. Whoever wants, somebody roll me a d6.
Oh, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Middle of the road. Okay. Well, I'll non-lethal the next one. It'll be fine.
As Lan and Dem, you are standing on the conveyor system, and all of a sudden you feel this lurch as it begins to move, and it seems to go. It moves along and it carries you forward, and unfortunately, you both carried into underneath this welder machine that is here. Both give me dexterity saves, please.
Okay.
Does this count as a tech
No.
power? Okay.
One. Saving throw. Normal. It's 23.
Okay, Dem, you're nimble enough to stay on your feet as this lurch catches you, but Lan, unfortunately, it catches you off guard. You are trying to deal with your, you just got singed in the rear end anyway, and it actually like causes you to fall over. You are now prone.
Uh-oh.
But you come around and you fall underneath this welding machine, and it it is fully activated, and it is going to town on whatever is there on the belt at this time. So that is going to be... so, Lan, with you being on the ground, you cannot make a dexterity save. Dem, give me another dexterity save.
You got it. I also just rolled my d20 for my Fates exploit.
Okay.
Just so I had that recorded. Dexterity saving throw. Come on, big money, no whammies.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. So you're able to get out of the way and avoid at least some of this incoming attack. Lan, take the full 10 points. 10 points of of damage comes in, and Lan, you take the full of that. Unfortunately, as you've fallen over and can't get out of the way. Dem, you take half of that, 5 points,
Okay.
as you are, and the conveyor system does lurch to a stop underneath it, and you guys realize that, okay, this whole place is way more active than you realize, and pretty dangerous.
Level 7. I think I have. Hold on. I don't think I added it. I have. Oh no, I do. I have evasion.
Okay.
So I take no damage. It's when you're subjected to
When
an
you
effect
save?
that allows you, to do a
Okay.
saving throw to take only half damage. You said
Okay.
take no damage. Yeah. Yay.
All right, Valin, you are up.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna move up towards the Celestin here, and seeing those two on the ground. Is it possible to use Force Throw, non-lethally, like to pick them up and pull them over to me? They'll still probably have to make a roll or whatever, but
I'm gonna say no, only because that steps on rescues.
oh, I see. Okay.
Because rescue is basically pulling somebody like that, and without harm. So yeah, it would be. Hang on a second, I'll do.
Oh, here,
off the-
want me to post the? Because I'm reading the text, and it just says you move them, and then if they strike something, they take damage.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
So I was thinking, as long as I put them calmly there.
Mhm.
So, okay, so I move up to him, and I'm gonna twin Force Throw
Okay.
at Lan and Dem. I have no second level. No. There we go. So then you guys need to make it's a DC 17 strength save.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
you want to fail this. You don't
No,
want
I
to
know.
pass this.
I
Yeah.
just thought it was funny because
I'm
I'm
sure you
like,
could,
of all
like-
the things, this is great.
You could purposely fail, couldn't you?
I don't think you can. At least
I-
maybe
I
that's
think
more up
it's-
to you thing. But,
Yeah, I think it's more up to you. But
But-
either way, I'm fine.
But like you said, it steps on Rescue's toes. They don't know what I'm doing, so it's just
Actually,
whatever.
well,
Whoa.
It worked.
of
So
a- yeah.
That makes
Fine.
sense as like a downside versus just
Yeah.
using rescue. Is that we
So-
have to fail to save.
I wanted to pull Dem over to here, and then Lan can be over here.
Okay.
That way they're not hitting each other, and they're in where they would be.
Holy criff, holy criff, holy criff.
Okay.
Sorry, it's all I had at the moment. As I pull them
Oh.
away.
Anything
then-
else?
I'm standing by him. I think. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll stop there. My goal is to just stand in front of the Soliston with the lightsaber and protect him.
All right. So some droids are up, and they are gonna start making some move around. He will just move across the conveyor system we're here and see Dem there in front of him is going to go ahead and take a shot at you, Dem.
And I have that thing from land, yeah? +2 to AC.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to make a.
19.
What's your AC at?
That'd be 19 now.
Okay. So he goes off. The
I
first
stay. Yeah.
still up.
Yeah.
Okay. And it will take another shot. That'll hit.
Whew, yeah, well.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Hey.
Lovely.
So he catches you, but not in as square as he could, and you take a little bit. But you realize that you got lucky. That this modified droid, the normal purpose of his weapon is for working on the machinery, and it's meant to have impact and force and whatnot. And it's now turned on you. So you're glad that you avoided the full brunt of it, but it's a problem.
Yeah.
Another droid up here is going to move in closer as well. It's going to go up and melee land. Well, he pulls out a plasma welder that he has modified and attacks with that. Ooh, and does not attack with that, with a nat 1. Give it one more shot.
Forgot to turn the gas on.
Nope, not doing it. So other droid was out, so we come back to the top for round 2. Dem, you are up.
Sort of just after like sort of regaining your composure from being thrown across the room gently.
And Dem, give me an intelligence check, please.
Okay. Well, this always goes well. Here we go. And Yay! That's how it
All
always
right.
is.
Carry on.
Yep. I'm going to just friggin' get this droid next to me, the little sucker. You guys are supposed to be nice. The heck?
As you turn to the little astromech next to you, swipe out with your weapon. You do hit against it heavily and give damage. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll take it out.
The heck? That's what I thought. Okay.
I knew I'd put you in the right spots.
For my cunning action. Ooh. I'm gonna close the distance over here. Hello. And that's all for me.
Yeah. The droid in the control nexus up here. You see him call out, or you see him kind of going into the system, using the controls more, and they're just continuing causing the havoc in the facility. It does seem though that he does something a little different this time, and you hear the steps of additional droids that enter in the north.
Hello.
This astromech here on the other side is gonna come down and come to you and pull out his flamethrower there, Dim. His arc welder, sorry.
Hi.
Nope, not that. Didn't want that. He will conveniently position that so it does not get his counterpart. So go ahead
Man.
and click your token. Make sure you give me that saving throw.
Yep. And saving throw.
Okay, that will succeed.
No damage.
Is evasion every time, or is it a once per turn? How's that work?
I think it's every time. Let me double check.
Okay, every time.
Yeah, it doesn't. Nope.
So the flame comes out, but you are able to completely jump out of the way of that and avoid any effects of the flame
Come
sweep
on, man.
from the droid.
What the heck?
Lan, over to you. Droid in front of you is trying to strike out with its welder, but just not making a connection.
Mistake. Land's gonna take his rifle and fire at the droid close range.
Okay. Advantage?
I've got the
Okay.
skill that makes it so I don't get disadvantage.
Despite being up in your face, you are able to get a shot up on the droid and blast right into it with a heavy shot.
Yeah.
That will take that one out.
Nice. All right, I've got 1 round left in my rifle, so I'm gonna shoot this worker bee over here.
Okay. .21 will hit. Fire across the conveyor over to the other one and cut him down quite substantially.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just use my bonus action to reload because I'm out of bullets. In my turn.
Yep. One of the new droids that comes in is going to begin, is going to just work its way to basically rush in across the factory floor to get into closer to who they need to go after. And we come back to middle of the round here, and Snem is just crying. I was like, "Hey, can't you just disable the droids? They costed so much, and there was so much work to. Come on, there's got to be something else you can do." And someone roll me a d6, please.
I'll let one of you do it. Yeah.
You see that he may be expecting something to happen with the conveyor systems, but it actually it stays static. The machines all seem to just sit still for a moment. Lan, I forgot to ask you. Give me an intelligence check.
Thank God.
You recall earlier in the tour, Snem mentioning, kind of a cool innovative concept they're doing to light the facilities, and how they're doing that, what that contains. Valin, over to you, and you can give me an intelligence check as well.
Okay.
So you as well, especially with Snem right there calling it out, you kind of remember something as well about that same innovation.
This would be the ions.
Yes.
So are they just like big old tubes that go across the top?
Yes.
And so I guess would we know that what would happen if these ions touched the droids? Like, Is that a sciencey thing, or is that just a general knowledge thing, or?
Well, Snem kind of alluded to that earlier because you had asked about,
What would happen if
yeah,
something happened to it? Yeah.
yes.
Just like, okay. How high up is it?
They're definitely up at the top of the facility. You know, good. It's a pretty tall thing. You know, good.
How tall?
Call it 30 feet.
Oh, okay, that's not tall at all. So does it look like it's just like glass tubing, like a
Mhm.
fluorescent light bulb
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yep.
So do we get the idea or the sense that if that were to shatter, that it would ruin the equipment up here too? Or was this more manual stuff up here?
No.
Unless...
I mean, it will probably have an effect on all the equipment. Yes.
So do we destroy all his equipment, or do we just destroy the droids?
Well, currently you've taken out 3 of the droids in mostly irreparable fashion.
Yay.
Yeah.
The ion will, you know, might short them out, but you know that's just, you know.
So it's just a shorting. It's not like a total destruction
Right.
of.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'll turn to Snem and go, I really hope this doesn't screw things up, and I'll force project up at the top to hit one of those tubes and hopefully spray the ions across some of the droids. I'll move out here so I can get a better view. So let's see. Will I need to roll damage? I don't know how much it'll do. For this?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
I mean, not that great, but
It's all right.
So, you throw off this burst of force energy towards the tubes up above you. First one goes off, and it doesn't seem like it does too much, but you realize that you are creating a weak spot as the second one cracks it even more. And on that third burst of energy up to it, it does rupture the tube, and the gas, you can see that the light in there like flickers, and you can almost see it as if it's like a cloud of gas kind of pulling out of that opening as the lighting in that tube begins to dim and it almost dissipates. The lighting in the room as a whole goes down a little bit. There's still a couple other large tubes that are illuminating things. It definitely comes down and hits down below you on some of the equipment and surrounding area.
it didn't get any of the droids at all.
It came down. You don't know yet. It came down.
Okay.
And yep,
Okay, gotcha.
You can basically, you know, there's the you know, the air is full of that kind of lightning smell of ozone that you might be familiar with.
Yeah.
With this gas.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just kind of hold position there, just kind of wait and see. And that's it.
Okay. So this droid over here, next to Dem.
Hi.
All right. It seems that the ion has not affected this droid yet. It pulls up its plasma welder and is going to go ahead and
Oh, you.
fail, I assume. You still have the
Yep.
bonus.
I think so. If not, that would still fail.
20 will hit.
Yep.
Jeez. Right. 2 points damage from.
Okay, I'm gonna use my reaction to what's it called? Uncanny dodge
Okay.
because it's about to be my turn.
And
thought it
it
would be
is.
funny.
Yep, top of the round.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try and take this dude out a little bit more delicately, uh, if at all possible. We'll see.
Oh,
Too
I'll use my
delicately,
no.
apparently.
I'll use my bonus action for let's see, it's the duelist style where I could use my bonus action, yeah, to repeat an attack against the same target using any of the same modifiers. So let's try it again. And yay.
Okay, you are successful in follow-up. Attacking up.
And very delicately.
And you bring that thing down. There's not really a way to
Yeah.
take out a droid with a vibro weapon, especially how much you put into it.
You know, I figure I at least would say it given my crazy dexterity score. Like,
Another droid is crumpled to the ground, just sliced apart by vibro ray. Anything else?
no, I'm good.
Okay. One of the new droids that had came in is gonna in as well. Here and line of sight on Valin. Will take a couple shots at you. Magna Bolt. Miss.
So if let's say they were to hit.
20 on the second one to hit.
Oh. So if I reflect that and I actually, I mitigate the damage enough to where it can actually go back and hit them, do I not get to choose if it's non-lethal because it's the initial blast wasn't non-lethal?
Right.
Okay, I thought I had good understanding. Well, I think I'm gonna have to saber reflect that.
6 points.
Okay, let me see. What is saber reflect? 2d6.
Yep. So you can redirect
Alrighty.
that to someone within 20 feet.
I think I have to make an attack though, which is 20 plus mod plus 8 wisdom.
And who are you going after?
Oh,
That guy, probably.
I'll shoot it. No, I'll shoot it at the one that fired at me.
He's out of range.
Or
It's
he's
20
out of
feet.
range. Yeah, the one directly across from me then.
Okay. That
That'll
will
work.
hit. Points back.
Probably, probably not looking too good.
He hasn't been hit yet.
Oh, okay. It didn't sound like they have a whole lot anyway, so.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Oh no, that wasn't your turn. Was it? Droid is up now, and Droid is gonna come join the fun. A couple shots at Dem. Been so successful up till now.
It's good for me.
You got 19
And,
still?
Yeah, unless something's changed, Lan. Yeah.
Nope, I haven't been hit yet. Not
Okay.
since the last concentration.
All right, this other astromech is up, and we'll, fire another ray down to you, Dem.
Oh well. Okay, let me do that. And normal. I love evasion.
So, flame comes out, and you are able to jump out of the way once again. Go to... Lan, you are up.
All right. I would like to shoot some of the tubes in the roof above this worker over here.
Okay.
Take aim with my rifle. Don't fail me now. And I'll use my routine to add my intelligence to the shot.
That'll definitely hit. Blast hits into the one of the other tubes up above. Immediately splits. Begins splitting. Go ahead and get damage on that.
Ooh.
Nice. And yes, it does split apart and begin leaking out the gas down below. And now the room gets a little bit colder, a little bit darker with that mixed room in the room. Some of the machines seem to be, there might be a flicker of electricity from that infiltration of the gas, of the ion gas, and I think that getting to a point where things are starting to break down. Anything else?
Smells like burnt toast.
No, I'm gonna I guess I can attack again, so I'll just shoot another tube.
Okay. That'll definitely connect.
Nice.
Okay, and this one it doesn't quite bust it open, but it's cracked and it's on the edge of doing so.
All right, well, I'll reload and end my turn.
Okay, this droid up here north of Valin is going to keep him as a target. That'll miss.
Those dice were sick.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, visually they're sick, and they're sick for me, right?
The
Cool.
Snem is up and says, "Oh, it's gonna take time to repair, but good thinking, lads. Good thinking. Taking out the ion gas. Somebody please roll me a d6.
It's your turn, Lan.
Yeah, it's your turn. Oh,
Okay. Nothing further seems to happen within the facility floor. The gas continues to straight around. Valin, you are up.
okay. Have I seen anything walk across this conveyor belt
No.
like safely?
But
Like, didn't that droid down there go
Yeah,
across
yeah,
it? Like,
yes,
Like I
yes.
would know I'm not gonna just zip
Right.
down and get
right.
welded into the thing. Okay, I'm gonna come up next to the droid.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that Lan's got the tubes handled and he's much better at it than me, I can barely reach him. I'm gonna take a non-lethal swipe at this droid next to me. Why do I not have that as an attack? I really gotta set this stuff up. Stop slacking. There, I think I can
Me.
just do that. Pew, pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
Non-lethal. Pew, pew.
Okay. Okay. You strike out with the lightsaber at the droid, and you realize that can't be non-lethal with this. Slicing through with a blade through the droid. Cut it down. It hasn't taken him out yet. but definitely causing damage.
Well, is there? So I can't non-lethal him?
Not the
Like,
droid.
can't cut off his arms?
I mean, yeah, you're still doing damage.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do another one again. Same sort of thing. I think -3, is that what we did? So you don't get proficiency for the offhand attack.
Correct.
Oof.
And that one will miss, unfortunately.
That's just
Swing
throwing
around,
him for a loop.
Not
Like, why?
able to.
What is with these droids?
Hey, anything else?
No. I think Valen's good there.
Come back to the top of the round. Dem, you are up.
I can't really do anything but smack these guys, so we'll just go for it. This guy over here. You know what? Actually, I take that back. I'll go for the far guy over here, because the other guy who seemed to be doing pretty well at dodging, but this guy just sort of hanging out. And I will try and smack him up. Actually, I will first feint him, so use my bonus action, and he has to make a insight, and I'll use a deception. And if I win the contested skill check, I get advantage on my attack here. Oh, and that's a 12. Okay. And I'm assuming, are we doing nat 1 rules where I just auto fail, or are we doing it by the numbers?
You're good.
Okay, just making sure, because I know people can do different stuff. Okay, well, I guess it didn't matter either way, because here we are. Yeah, that's all I got.
Right. You do try and maybe try and getting fancy to gain an advantage on your attack. Just put too much into it, and it throws you off balance, and you do not connect with.
Droids are slippery, I'm telling you.
The droids that had joined in earlier comes forward and is going to take shots at Valin. $15.
And with that, he's gonna force shield as a reaction.
Okay.
Been waiting for you, droids.
Fire off again, and not any better. Droid next to you, Dem, will
Hello.
out with his plasma welder. 18.
I'm still at 19, so unfortunately no.
Okay.
No.
Good buddy Astromech is gonna come over.
Hey, bud. How's it going?
Got enough movement. He's gonna come over here, and this time he's gonna hit you with his welder.
Oh, what a big man.
Probably not gonna matter. Well.
Oh, that will matter.
Oh, cool.
Woo!
And I'll try another one.
That's another 20. Dang.
He has some better luck. 7 total points
Wanted me
of
down.
damage to the back of you.
Oh, there you are.
Man, you are up.
All right. Well, Land's gonna turn to Sneb and say, "I apologize for the unprofessional way I'm doing property damage here, and we'll continue shooting at the roof and hitting some more tubes above this droid first, and then this droid.
Okay.
2
All right.
shots.
Dem, take those.
Oh, take him back. Okay. There you go.
Lan, you fire off with the remaining tube, and you are able to split that open, and the rest the room goes almost fully dark, other than some other more like a safety lighting around the edges of the room. Gas pours out, and it gets a little bit colder. Even really see that the machinery is being increasingly affected at this point.
Right. One more at the tubes.
They're all knocked out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's
yeah.
still one more.
So you can just point that to somebody else.
Yeah, I'll just shoot
Okay.
this worker
Oh,
over
that'll
here.
definitely hit. That puts a big hole in him, but he's actually still up, holding on.
Ooh.
Not very well though.
Land says in binary, "You're a tough little guy, ain't you?" And reloads.
And that droid is up, and he sees the recent hit from the blaster shot, and just looks around, and then sees the Jedi in front of him, and maybe subconsciously he knows that that's his enemy. Turns to you, Valin, and go ahead and strike out plasma welder a couple times.
Sort of foreshadowing.
That's
Oh.
20.
That'll hit.
10 points on the first attack.
Oh.
Second one with healing. One in him. Sneem.
I dropped my guard.
Sneem from behind the pillar here, still taking cover. Just kind of calls out, says, "Someone just try and shut everything down. Just get to the Nexus. Just shut this thing down."
My brain is so smooth.
Valin,
I'd
you are
love
up.
to.
Okay, so hearing that, let me see. I think it's possible. Trying to see. Haha. Okay, let me do some measurements here real quick. Okay, yeah, I don't think I can do it. It was just barely out of range. So let me see. So 10. So that's 10. Yeah. No, I'm still just slightly out of range. So let's see. Sorry, I'm taking. Okay, I think since I can't do it, this guy's right up in my grill. Valen's getting a little flustered. He's just gonna take a non-lethal swing at him.
Okay. You do swipe out and connect at the you hit a reinforced portion of his plating. Is but a scratch.
Like, what is with these things? Like, how did those two Jedi even take them out the last time? And he'll try to get him on the backswing. The offhand.
That will connect.
All right. Same non-lethal or whatever, if that's even possible.
That will take out the droid.
Just want to cut his legs off and his arms off. Something that, Snem can reattach later when he's got time.
Okay. The
Some
droid
free time,
falls victim to the swinging blade.
And then with that, now that Valin sees he's able to, he's going to run 30 feet that way,
Okay.
making his way towards the thing.
Right.
And then with a no, I'll save it. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, that's turn.
Dem, you are up.
Cunning action for addition gauge. And I'm gonna let's go. Let's do this. I'm so prepared. Okay. And I start just wiping my hands all over the buttons or whatever. Trying to turn the sucker off.
Sorry, oh, okay,
No, you're
so
good.
yeah, give me a technology check.
We're going for it. You know that? This is how it is. I was looking around trying to make sure that I can't use anything to bump up my my check here, and you bet I can't. So let's go. Let's go. Okay.
You
well,
see a bunch of computer consoles before you. Nothing that you're not unfamiliar with, but you just can't make left or right of it to know what's the thing you need to do here to shut things down.
Yeah. I start wiping my hands all over it. That's what I want my action to be.
Just getting it all sticky.
No, not literally, but like, just like
Yeah.
pressing as many
Yeah.
buttons as I can. I'm just like, woo, woo.
Dem
And,
is a button masher for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm literally just,
Anything further?
besides literally running my hands over as many
Okay.
buttons as I can. Nope.
All right. A couple remaining droids are up and continue attacking. This droid here will go. Yeah, it will be able to attack. Miss. That should hit, Valin, yes? Your force thing only lasts for a round, or how long does that last?
No, but I had the I think I'm doing the battle precog just every day, like just keeping the default 2 points off
Okay,
automatically.
that's fine.
Just, yeah.
All right.
So his base is 15. Or 13 plus 2. Yeah, 15.
Shots. We're at
Hi.
19.
So-
Will hit.
Mm-hmm.
5 points of damage come across. Takes another shot. 20 will hit.
Oh, yeah.
11. 16 total. Avoids heavy magnabolt.
Whew.
It finally connects. You're maybe a little vulnerable. Turn your back to the
This is
droid
what I get.
console. Astromech here is up. Astromech does not. It seems that the ion gas has affected the astromech, and it does not. Lan, you are up.
Okay.
You have probably noticed that the ion gas has come down and has started to affect the machinery and the droids. They seem to be having trouble to operate. Sometimes get through, but
Well, I'm gonna dash and with my action and activate my jetpack with my bonus action.
okay.
So I'll get a running start and launch my jetpack and fly over here.
Okay.
Land over next to Dem and say, all right, what do we got here? And I don't think I can that's action and bonus
Yeah,
action. So that
that's
ends my
everything.
turn.
So you at least
Yeah.
get there and you start taking a look at it. Hopefully, being able to do something. Someone give me a D6, please.
I'll do it.
Yeah, it's your turn again, Valin.
Okay.
Hey, a new one.
So, nothing still happens within the facility. It seems everything is still static and there's no effect. There might be a few creaks and hums of attempted activation around the facility, but you guys think that the ion gas that has come down has certainly affected the functionality of things around. Valin, you are up.
So we've got what, 1, 2, 3 droids still up?
Yes.
Okay. So seeing everybody just kind of get there, but not quite get there, Valin he's like, I got this. And using the Force, he hurries himself along as fast as he can and phase walks over to here as bonus action. And using that extra momentum, carries himself with his regular speed over to the console and starts trying to deactivate the remaining droids.
Okay. Give me a technology check.
Okay.
You as well, as it's just a little bit beyond your understanding, and you're not really sure what's going on, and it just something seems to be in your way.
I don't know what this is. And he's going to take a step back so that whoever else can get into the console.
Okay, Dem, you're up.
Okay. You know what? Well, again, I'm looking through, trying to see if there's literally anything that I can do to boost this up. But you sure know there isn't, so here goes nothing. And
Just delete the
come
C drive.
on. Okay. Is that supposed to be good? I do it.
You continue to just not have any luck with understanding the system here. It's just much too foreign to you.
Okay. I type in "Hello World." Does that do anything? I saw someone do that once on the HoloNet.
Hey, anything else?
No.
It seems that it's acting a little sporadic, but it is somehow able to continue its operation despite the heavy cloud of ion gas in it. It's going to come forward and take a couple shots, and there. That should definitely hit. 23.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
13.
I gotta make a concentration check here.
That will do. Fire one more at you. And more. There. You're able to maintain concentration on Dem's extra defenses, but at the expense to yourself of taking a couple heavy hits. One of the remaining droids behind you that seems to be fighting through the ion cloud coming down and disrupting most everyone. One of the other droids comes out. Right. Is able to as well fight off the effects of the ion gas. Take a couple shots at.
This is great, guys. This is why I don't like computers. Droids are fine. Computers.
12 points come from another heavy Magnabolt blast something you've felt before, Dem, and you realize that this is not something you want to feeling.
Yeah,
Droid
I'm
lines
gonna
up.
uncanny dodge that one. 'Cause
Okay.
ouch.
Cuts it in half, right?
Yep. And that's it. So now I don't have a lot remaining, so we're gonna.
The second
that one.
one will, as you kind of get out of the way of that first shot and direct it to a softer spot, reducing the impact, throws off the aim of the droid, and it doesn't connect on its follow-up. The little astromech is up, kind of just sitting there, and it looks like he tries to make a motion, but he just falls limp again, as it seems the ion gas has affected him. Lan, you are up.
All right. I'm gonna get over here in front of the computer and try to shut this whole thing down.
The system before you looks, routine. It doesn't look anything crazy. It's still something that you need to get into and, figure out behind the keys and the buttons. So go ahead, give me a Slicer's Kit check.
Should be no problem for off.exe. I'll plug in my wrist pad and let her rip.
Hey!
Oh,
What a
there we
fucking
go.
call out. That's awesome.
Oh my god.
You plug
Uploading
into the
off
system,
.exe.
and you are able to get right to the main control systems for this entire facility, this floor at least. You immediately shut down the droids, the couple remaining, and they slump over into a deactive state. You shut down the conveyor systems as the hum from its motors die down, as well as all of the equipment, the drills, the lasers, and things like that. All of them, you hear this satisfying wind down of power as the facility just comes to a halt. As you are in there as well, shutting that stuff down, you notice a program in here that you notice some code in here that seems to have been modified. There's a set of code in here that was then, it seems to be a program to kind of operate, to run the droids in a certain way, but then that was specifically modified.
I'd like to make a copy. Put that on my wrist pad.
Copy.exe.
Yeah.
And you do, yeah. You pull that out and you see that program, it was a toxic program that caused the droids to go haywire. And it's in that specific program, though, as I had said. So there was a program in there to cause the droids to do what they did, but there was parts of it that were written by somebody else. So there's two different, kind of elements in there, the two different types of handwriting, if you will, in that.
Well, the first author uses 4 spaces for an indent, and the second author uses 2.
Tabs
There's
for
no
spaces.
way. Yes. There's no way they would have different indents. This is classic corporate espionage.
As it seems that the facility comes to a halt, Snem rushes over. Oh, my... I can't believe that happened. Thank you so much for taking care of this.
Sorry about I'm so sorry about the droids. We tried to get to the Nexus as fast as we can. But...
Are you okay? Are you all okay? We have some medical supplies that we can get to patch you up. But please, 1 second. And he rushes over into a compartment and he starts pulling out some med packs. Throws a couple to each of you to utilize.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're patched up.
He's like, before they do that, I put my hand out and I channel the Force and use Preserve Life on both Lan and Dem. And Lan, how many hit points would heal you up to half your max?
10.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
So you take 10, and then Dem can take whatever the other 20 and heal up to half.
Okay.
Now use the med packs.
Lovely. Okay, and you said 2 for each of us?
Yeah, so just roll hit die twice for each
Yep.
of you guys.
Cool. And we're gonna roll.
Sneb looks around and he looks at the fallen droids and you know, Dem, as you kind of are apologetic about that. It's an unfortunate loss, but an unnecessary one under the circumstances. None of the major equipment was damaged, so I do appreciate that very much. The droids, they can potentially be repaired. Well, we'll see what we can do.
Hopefully you can squash some
But
bugs with them.
he comes over and he kind of gets into the computer and he looks at you, Lan, and he says, "So, I see you were able to shut it down. Is there anything else that you kind of noticed out of sorts?"
Yes, it does appear that you've experienced some espionage of some kind. It seems that one author in the code base here is using tabs, and another is using spaces. No one would cross those two, so you gotta have two programmers working on this file, and they aren't cooperating.
He looks visibly shocked at that. He says, someone got in and put in a outside bit of code?"
That's sure seems to be what's going on, sir. And Land shows a little code snippet on his wrist pad to Snem as proof.
Well, I'll have to take a good look at this and see if there's anything I can identify or trace back, the source of this.
Good call.
Well, didn't you mention right before all this happened that there was some offer you rejected, and then you accepted hearing their offer again, and then all of a sudden everything went screwy?
Yes, I mean, I'll certainly look into that. Of course, I will talk with the proper authorities here on Edict Bar and get a full investigative team in. But that's a good thought. I think I'll have to look into that.
Just off the top of your head, do you happen to know who those people were? Did they have a name or a company or anything like that?
You see him think on that, and yeah, I'll have to trace them down.
Okay. And Snem, one other thing. Next time you want to buy discount droids, can you please not buy a set of discount droids that were used to subjugate an entire planet? They're probably not a good investment.
Hey, a discount's a discount, right?
He scratches
well,
his head and he
Take their guns away at least.
he says, "Yes, sir. I understand that.
I appreciate
Again,
you're trying to save credits, but at the same time, it's not really worth the. You didn't really save anything if they caused a whole bunch of damage to your facility, right?
absolutely.
It's like, and we're gonna. Can we take their guns away from them? Like, I don't know. Are they like hardwired into them? Or...
Yeah, so they're not like they're machinery modified. It's so they're not like traditional weapons. They were using
No, they're just some
their things to, they
Okay.
move around and work on the production line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, if
they're
they're
just
tools,
kinda-
then
tools,
that's
yes,
fine.
tools.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Never mind. Then I won't do
Turned,
anything to
right.
them.
He says, well, I'd say that's the end of the tour. How about we get you those parts and get you all out of here? I'm sure you've got plenty else to do.
Oh, that we do. And say, Snem, if you do happen to find out what was behind this, do you mind just letting us know?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe-
I'm
Maybe we've heard of them too. Who
I'm
knows?
in contact with Master Lanius. quite a bit as well, so I'll be certain to send some information.
Perfect.
Maybe we can give you a hand. You know.
Well, other than this last 10 minutes, I like your facility. Looks nice.
Well, thank you. You follow along with him out of this floor, back through the rest of the facility, out to the front. He hands over the parts that you came to gather. Thanks you again very much for your help in dealing with the situation. Wishes you well on the rest of you. Guys, head back, straight back to your ship. No other issues there, and load up to then head off to your stop, your second stop at the asteroid. Let's take a quick couple minute break here, and we'll come back and
Okay, that'll work.
Okay.
finish up.
Sounds
So,
good.
see you all in a few.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
Oh,
Oh. You did too. I thought you did, yeah.
No, I didn't
No.
roll any hit dice.
oh, okay. Yeah, and it'll heal your health too.
Oh.
I thought you'd have to do it yourself, but it does it automatically.
Yeah, it should.
I like this
How do
upgrade.
I get to do that? I tried clicking hit dice and it didn't. It's not rolling.
You do short rest.
Oh, that's right. That's how
Yeah,
you got
and then you go to the
Yeah.
hit die. Yeah.
But you don't want to do a short rest, right?
No, but you open the short rest menu,
Yeah, short
and then
rest.
you can roll the die, and then I just do whatever and then close it. You'll be down your hit die, but that's just doesn't really come into play.
Wah. Better than nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
And you look pretty bad, Lan. Let me help you out just a little bit there. There, take 13 more on top of that.
Ooh, thank you.
Right. So, after your interesting endeavor on Edict Bar, picking up these supplies here, you head off and head towards your second destination at the edge of the asteroids to pick up these crystals. Lan, go ahead and give me a piloting check. Pick up the helm again.
Can I give him guidance?
You can.
Yeah. Like,
Just
Lan,
snuck it in there.
take it nice and easy. Easy does it. So you get another d6. Do I roll that, or does he? Oh, he says.
That's fine. Yep. So yeah, you still got it, and you get through without any issues, especially coming into the asteroid belt where it's a little more difficult. But you get through quite well. You get to the asteroid, and it's nothing, spectacular itself. It's about 1 kilometer long, less than that wide, and about half of that thick. And you've been told by Master Lanius that the crystals are going to be in a fissure, on the kind of northeastern side of the asteroid. So you kind of come down and land nearby that to then get out and go and retrieve these. So This will be a surface extraction. So you do have proper equipment, suits and whatnot for the ship, back suits to go ahead, suit up and head out. Go check that. Valin, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okie dokie.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, you just, along with the general directions that you've been given, you pick up a sense on these crystals, just knowing that they generally give off a little bit of their own presence, as they do for Jedi seeking them out for their lightsaber, and you do pinpoint their direction and are able to lead the group to this fissure there in the asteroid. See that they have to be, mined out a little bit, taken out, but not a difficult process.
Well, I think at this point it's probably just a matter of time before we get those things out. But if you want me to, I can lead the way. I have a sense of where we're going. Is this something Ufta could actually help with the extraction of? Or I don't know what his skill set is exactly.
He probably doesn't know either.
Technology, but I don't know if it's
Yeah,
technology.
he's more tech based. I mean, he might, yeah, he can assist with that.
Okay.
He'll come out with you guys.
Hey.
Perfect. All right, Dak,
Come on,
you just
Ufta.
watch your ship while we're out there.
He's got Jib.
What
okay.
are Jib and Dak up to, Todd? What have they gotten up to in our time off?
Dak is back on Bequa.
Yeah.
Yeah, hanging out. Jib's doing Jib things, running around the
Oh,
ship,
God.
making messes of things.
That's
and-
not. I was gonna say, that's not
Yeah.
exactly promising.
What
Huh?
are
Yeah.
my Jedi Knight trials doing running around the ship?
Yep.
Well,
So
we'll deal with that after.
Not my Pazak deck. Oh.
I'll buy you a new one. I'm sorry.
just in the what do they call it? The Star Wars toilet? Isn't there a name for that?
The fresher. They just
Refresher, I
kinda-
think it's like the room.
refresher. Yeah.
But yeah,
There's
a
like a
couple
back
cards
tube,
go
no?
down the
Back
refresher hole, and yeah, he's just definitely causing that chaos that he would.
I showed him a holodrama of these humans that get like supernatural powers based on
Oh, no.
their weird genetics and this weird gene that's throughout all of them. And there's a guy that likes to light up Pazak cards and Sabbat cards and throw them at people and watch them explode. He thinks he can do it. I don't know why. This is the one thing he shows intelligence at, but it's what he does. He's very impressionable, so just don't let him watch any of those holodramas that Dak likes where people get shot with blasters, because yeah, we don't need another problem. But I'll buy you a new set of cards, Lan. I'm sorry.
Fallacious P Gambit, huh?
Yep, pretty much. Oh, have you seen it too? I didn't know it was that popular.
I've seen a few things on the Holo too, but when you're cleaning your rifle, there's not much else to watch. But I usually go for those more of those daytime romance dramas. I don't go in for day to day being a bounty hunter. You see a lot of violence, a lot of shooting. I like to unwind with something about two people being upset over a third person's amnesia.
Okay.
I heard there's a lot of twin stuff in those. Is that true?
That is true. They've sort of the trend now is triplets. They've kind of burned out on the twin storylines.
They've only got just more and more to go, Brian.
Yeah, Zeshmen. I heard people like to die and come back to life in those things too, quite a bit. I wish I had that kind of power.
Well, maybe soon.
With enough hard work and practice, anything's
Yeah, I really
possible.
don't. I really know criff all about the Force, so you could tell me you could fly with it, and I'd believe you. So
It's not so much flying as it is not falling.
what?
Just
What?
Falling with
Well,
style.
I'll show you later. Hopefully not, but I'll show you later if we have to.
I was joking.
Let me put it this way: if you fall off the asteroid, I can pull you back. That's all you need to know.
Okay, I'm not gonna test that out.
Let's hope not. Yeah, do we have the sort of proper equipment and all that? You said.
Yes. So
Okay.
you float or you step along the asteroid surface. With definitely a not a strong gravitational pull, but your suits help a little bit in that, and you're able to get over to this position, Ufta in tow as well, and you get to the point where the crystals are. Begin your extraction. As you do, all of a sudden, there's a little bit of a initial static in your ears, in your comms, as if somebody's coming onto the channel, and you just hear through the hole, and then a blaster bolt comes over and blasts the rock next to you guys. That was your warning shot, wormies. Reckon I don't want no one claim jumpers on my rock.
I don't believe in warning shots.
Through the hole. What the? Is that an expression? Or is it? I was like, what? What is that? Like down the sights or something?
I think so, yeah.
Is that something? Okay. I was like, through the hole. Like,
And as you turn towards the direction of where the blast bolt came from, you see an individual in a full suit themselves as well, floating above you in the air off the surface of the rock via jetpack.
Oh, that's fine.
well, hold on. I don't think there's any need for that sort of thing. We can work this out. Who, I guess, what sort of claim do you have to this rock?
A legal one, and binding.
I guess that's what I'm asking you. What's
Registered with
giving you-
Kularan Space Nav and the Asteroid Mining Registry. This rock and them pretty stones is mine.
I see.
And may I ask who you are, besides
Well-
intruders and claim jumpers?
I was under the impression that these stones belong to the Jedi, and that's who I am here representing, as I am one myself.
Well, I regret to inform you that you are mistaken.
Well,
I regret
go
to
ahead,
inform you
sorry.
that I don't really care. I know you don't know me, but or I guess especially Land too. We're sort of have a same track of mind, but I don't really care. Is the thing. So we'll be taking those.
Yeah, look, pal, you're not special. I've got a jetpack too. Now just come on down here, quit putting on airs, and let's talk this out. I'm sure we can come to some kind of arrangement. If you got a claim, that means you got a price.
Yeah.
Called a license fee. I don't know if you've been in business long enough to have heard of it. You seem a bit wet behind the ears. You got to make a big show, doing a warning shot. We're regular folks. We can be reasoned with.
I'm
Let's
pretty
sit and
certain
chat.
that wormy duros like yourself don't even have ears.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Hold on,
Duro.
there's.
But if you looking to make a purchase, I think that can be arranged.
Well, I think none of us are gonna do anything until you put that blaster away. Our weapons aren't out. No need for yours, right? Think we can meet each other halfway there? We'll talk this out.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Would this come into play? Here, I think, yeah. Get advantage, or not advantage. Add a D4 for a point. Would that work?
Yes. Point. How do you spend a point?
It's
don't know. that like your point go down, so you're down a
So
point?
I'm doing the major one.
Yeah.
You spend a point.
Oh, never
a
mind.
force
Never mind.
point to
Sorry,
add
you're
a
right.
D4.
I was thinking of it in like your light side or dark side points, like in the scale,
Oh,
and I'm
gotcha.
like, what? Yeah, I totally
No,
collapsed.
yeah, I don't. So
Anyway,
it's persuasion, right?
yes.
Yeah, because I don't have such a good roll there. So. See?
He comes back on the comm channel and into your helmets and says, I like my blaster right where it's at. Don't worry, I'm a good shot. I'll make sure I don't hit anything I'm not trying to. So, let's just skip right to the business. What are you looking to pick up?
These crystals. That's what we're here for. The ones on this
It
rock.
is.
I assume so. I can't imagine you were picking up the rest of the druck around here. What? How many are you looking to grab?
What were we told? Were we getting all of them? Yeah, the remaining ones. Whatever's here. They're very much needed for the war effort.
Yeah,
So
I
about
thought
to
there
gank this guy,
was-
dude. So about to gank this guy. You're gonna have to hold me back.
Please don't.
I'm about to gank him so hard.
I will make you throw up in your own spacesuit.
Wouldn't be the first time. Come here.
It's like,
I was
simmer
well.
down.
I think 10. I think it was 10 because you're getting 10 of something else. I'm pretty positive it was 10 crystal.
We were, let's see,
Yeah,
10
what-
sets of supplies.
Yes, so that would make sense. 10. Yeah.
And
10
well, we
crystals.
got 10 sets of supplies from the Soliston, so
Right.
just 10 and 10.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but this gentleman comes back and he says, "Well, sure thing. I'm happy to sell. 5,000 credits apiece.
A piece?
A piece.
What?
I know their
Valin?
value.
Valin? Hold me back.
Hold on. Sir, the Jedi don't have coin like that. And if they do, it certainly isn't spent on stuff like this. It needs to be spent getting us to and from areas where we're needed. These are to power lightsabers. What are you going to do with them besides just sell them?
Exactly. I got something against throwing away money.
How about throwing away your life? You got something against that?
Yeah.
Hold on. There's no need for that kind of talk.
Give me an
We're-
intimidation check, Lan.
Yes, dude.
Valen's like,
I'm
God
ready for
damn
it.
it.
Oh.
You should got a lot of talk there, boy.
Yeah, well,
And I got
he might
bullets
have
to back
talk.
it up.
I was about to say.
He
You can
pulls
back
up.
it up.
He in his opposite hand. So he's got his blaster out, and then he pulls up his other wrist and points it towards you, and you see a couple clicks as something comes up. He's got some type of pretty significant device on the other wrist of his person.
Lan, don't.
That spacesuit of yours looks mighty pokeable.
Like, let's
Love
all...
to see what you look like all decompressed.
Now. My friends are joking, sort of. Let's all just take a breather. Think this through. Obviously, 5,000 credits apiece is not gonna cut it. I know that's way too high of a price. Like, you know how much I paid for mine? 0 credits. So I don't know exactly
steal
what you
that
think
one
they're
too?
worth. You didn't steal anything.
So you have
It's like,
a
well-
claim?
Well, that's what I was gonna get to. Can I see this claim of yours that you have?
You
I'm sure you've
absolutely
got some
can.
sort of documentation.
And he
Just want to make sure he actually has it.
pulls up and he turns his wrist data pad. He starts typing into that and transmits it over via that comm channel you're on right now, and you guys get a beep on your own data pads that you'd have on your suits and whatnot. It does come up information that everything he said shows his name and who it's registered with and everything.
Or, sorry, what is his name?
It says that his name is Jag Morik.
Jag Morik. No idea who this is.
Haven't heard of a Jag Morik around the system, huh?
Kind of a jag off. Okay. Well, we don't have those kinds of credits. And how long actually would it take us to get these crystals? Do we know? Like any sort of rough timetable?
Like to pull them out?
Mm.
It take you a little bit, like a few minutes maybe.
Okay. It's not something you can just swipe and
Right.
go. It's like, well, who are you going to sell them to? May I ask?
Whoever's buying. Sounds like you were interested, but if you can't meet the price, then find somebody else who can.
Well,
Or if you want to go back to your Jedi friends and maybe see if they want to reconsider the offer.
Well, I just find it weird that Master would send me out here if there was an official claim already laid to this asteroid. Somewhere the wires are getting crossed, and I don't know who's crossing them. Like, I'm not like you, and I don't plan to settle this with violence. Quite frankly, that's the exact wrong way to do this, especially if all you're after is credits.
I'm not trying to instigate either, my friend. I'm simply here trying to protect what is rightfully mine.
You fired a blaster at me instead of going, hey, first, and then you pointed something else at us after my friend said something to you.
Consider it aggressive negotiations.
I happen to be proficient in those as well. But, well, I guess if it's yours, we should let you get to extracting them, shouldn't we?
I will do that on my time.
What are you extracting them with, if you don't mind me asking? We were just coming out here with these, what are they, picks or whatever we have? Just some sort of jackhammer thing, yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
I have my equipments.
Okay. Well, have at it. Maybe I'll buy one when you're done.
You see him, he takes off in his jetpack.
He just leaves?
He leaves.
Okay.
He goes nearby.
We didn't get any sort of scan when we came in here that would have identified a ship or something?
No.
Okay. It's like, well...
We'd let them kill him when we had a chance.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
No, that's not an option here.
A bright light and a loud whir of engines comes from under and around the surface of the asteroid that you are on. A small starship hovers above the asteroid, and your comm channel lights up again.
Yeah, Valin.
Time to move along.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're gonna do. Like, all right, give us. I don't know how far back it is to our ship. Give us that much time, and we'll get back to our ship. And then you can.
As long as that's the only direction you're going, be no problems here.
What kind of ship is it?
Just some smaller, kind of modified starfighter freighter type.
Okay. So yeah, quick thinking, I guess to our own internal comms, I'll just tell the group, I'm like, I'd rather fail at getting these crystals than kill this guy. It's not worth it. Plus, they're just crystals. They are all over the galaxy. If we can't get them here, we can get them somewhere else. Failing that, I'll buy one off of him. At least I'll come back with one. Or we can just wait him out. If no one's buying them, maybe we can. Maybe you can work with your contacts, Lan, and kind of sour his, poison the well with his name, sort of. Make him someone no one wants to buy from. At least these particular items. There's options, that's all I'm saying. Master
You know what,
Lanius,
Valin?
he'll understand. He's not going to be happy, but oh well. The Force. It is what the Force willed. I'm not going to kill this guy over this.
Valin, every dog has its day. And one of these days, it'll be mine. And I'll walk back towards the ship.
Like, did you just threaten to kill that guy? Or what?
Now look,
Griffin-
Valin. Sorry, go ahead.
Say, Griffin pissed me off. And I'm telling you,
Patience.
everyone has their day. And
Patience.
one of these days, it'll be my day. I'm still walking back towards you. Not about to get shot.
Anything as scarce as these crystals gonna have some type of buyer after him. I'm more concerned that the price is so high because he's already got somebody lined up to take these off.
Well, see, do you have any plans that don't involve hurting this guy?
Yeah, I could check around the Bounty Hunters Guild, see if he's got any open bounties or anybody's had some unpleasantness with him. Maybe
That
we can
lawful
find
enough
out
for
that
you?
it's-
Well, it just seems odd. Why would we get told to come out here if we're not able to actually get them? If we have to go through some official channel to get permission, why did Master Lanius just want us to take them? That
Well,
seems
perhaps
kind
Only he
of,
said
it's-
something to you about it, huh?
kind of short-sighted. I mean, did he? I don't remember him saying anything about that.
I don't either. He did.
Perhaps Jag's
He was
claim
like-
is not legitimate.
So I'll say out of character, if you'll remember, he was like, remember, yeah, not everything's like it always has to be. Wink, wink. He took you aside,
Yeah, but
and obviously,
I don't know what that has to do with this, though. That didn't.
yeah,
Did my notes
that he
incomplete
had
or
said
something?
that. It was like he took you aside when we were
Yeah.
going out, and he was like, hey, everything's a test, right? And sometimes
Sure.
you have to go about things in alternative ways. And it's just my out of character interpretation.
No, okay. No, yeah, that. But I meant like.
No, he wasn't like totally kill this dude.
No. I just like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. Okay. So anyway. I mean, yeah. Let's see, what's the range on some of my powers? 60. We wouldn't be able to get close enough for that sort of stuff. I was thinking just letting him blast it and then sneak him with the Force. Take them into the cargo bay. Haha. Well, the only thing I can think of is to track him down to wherever he's selling these things. Find them there, or maybe he drops them off and we just take them. And then we'll take our chances there. I'm not killing him. And certainly can't afford that price, so who knows? Maybe we can... Is disabling his ship really an option? I mean, that seems kind of... For these? Doesn't seem worth it.
I don't know.
A life is a life, even if the guy is a bit of a scumbag. Well, I guess I'm open to options here. What should we...
Well, and
Listen.
it's your test. I don't want to
Yep.
cloud your
He
judgment.
said it's a test. He told us to go do these things.
I don't know.
Everything's a test with you.
Actually, that's fairly true of the Jedi.
Yeah.
They never
There's one
waste a
thing I've-
teaching moment.
If there's one thing I have heard about the Force, and it's very little, it's that everything's a test.
I would feel much more comfortable aboard the ship, Master. I would
I'm
return if
walking.
that is okay.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Ofta. Is there anything you could do for us, Ofta? Maybe disable his ship remotely?
I unfortunately do not have those capabilities.
Not yet.
How far away is the guy's ship from us? Just overhead.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good distance. Probably
Okay.
a couple 100 feet or so, but
Jump onto his ship.
right, no.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
who's got the
mean,
upper
you
hand
know.
now?
Limited gravity. Who knows?
Who knows?
200
Can't.
feet, it's still in land's range.
So it looks like he's just getting ready to blast the crystals out. Is that kind of his method? Or does it look like that's what he's doing with the ship?
No, I would say that it's more of on the back of his, last words is that he's making sure that you guys.
Like fly off and dip out?
I want to put my hunter's mark on Jag.
What's the
So
range on that?
Well, I think with Deadeye, I have like an insane range. Let me double check on that.
It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
Mark of the Deadeye, Ranger's Quarry range doubles.
Yep.
And the base range on Ranger's Quarry is 120 feet. So 240.
Yep.
240.
Yeah, it says it's a creature I can see.
Okay.
I can see his ship, and it's within 240 feet, so I'm guessing I could do that.
It's right on the edge of that. If it
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's in a single starfighter, like a single seater.
Mm-hmm. It's got some cargo capabilities though. A small
I don't know.
freighter.
I get
but
it.
yes, yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the ship, guys. Looks like he's won. I'll say that on the open channel. Like, all right, we're leaving. Have fun with your claim, and if you want to sell some later, here's a code you can reach us at. I'm sure we'll be interested, but I don't know what we'll be able to do at that price. Good luck. And we'll start walking towards the ship, and then I'll switch back to our private comms, and I'll tell them I have a plan.
I know.
We'll go back to the ship, and then I'm going to leave the ship, and you're going to take the ship out and make it look like you're leaving. And we're going to let him do whatever it is he's doing. But I'm still going to be on the asteroid. What I'll try to do is when he starts digging these things up and he gets distracted, I'll steal his ship. Then when you have his ship, maybe he'll be willing to trade it for the Adegan crystals that he's digging up.
Well.
Now, keep in mind, we are not stranding him out here no matter what happens. If something happens to his ship, we're giving him a ride. We're not killing this guy over these things, but he is being a bit of a pain, and we do need to get these. They are important. I didn't want to walk away empty-handed, but there are lines that must never ever be crossed. Once you cross them, it's very difficult to go back. Like climbing up a very steep cliff. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. By the time you've fallen far enough, there's no getting back up.
I'll
I
lean
can't
over
ever cross those lines. You need to understand that.
I'll lean over to Lan and say, I've definitely killed a lot more people for much less. Just don't tell him. I'll say that definitely loud enough for Valin to hear.
Your secret's safe with me.
Slightly chuckle to himself, but also make a mental note that maybe to sleep with a little more of his eye open around you. But, well, what do you guys think? You think it's doable?
Yeah, give it a try.
Been practicing. I can use the Force to mask myself from him. I'll have to be quiet. I'll have to be slow, but in the vacuum of space, he's not going to be able to hear much. And I don't know. What do you think? This sounds pretty
Sure.
bold, even for me.
I know. Let's give it a go.
So, when we came in, Todd, would we know like if there would be a good place to hide the ship, like on the back of another asteroid or something? Like, is there something close by that would suit that?
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
It's like, so here's my thinking, Lan. You guys get in the ship, and you head out that way, and then. And it's been a while, but practice your fancy flying and try to get to the back of the asteroid, and then make it so he can't see you. And then I'll if you don't hear back from me in say 20 minutes, come looking. But otherwise I'll calm you and give you the signal to come over. It'll just be a ping. I won't calm you or anything. I'll probably be talking to him.
Right, I'll keep an eye out.
But do me a favor. Also scan for other ships in the area, just in case he's got friends or someone waiting to buy, or waiting for him to finish what he's doing here. This seems...
I'll put you on comms.
There you
You
go.
can keep scanning and keep listening for me. I'll be too busy playing fancy free in this space ballet with this ship.
Okay, let me take a look.
I will
through
do
my
everything I can to help the mission.
Thank you, Ufta. And beep boop, as Lan says thanks again in binary.
Beep boop.
Master Jolt, it is actually boop beep.
Ah,
Close enough, though.
My
I appreciate
binary's
the effort.
rusty.
You were using the formal usted instead of
Yeah.
informal. It's a common thing. Don't worry about it. Happens all the time.
All right, so you guys head back towards your ship.
So what I wanted to do was, as we walk up the ramp and he visibly sees us, I want to cast force camouflage on myself and jump off the ship onto the ground and sneak my way back over to where, or maybe I'll just stay where we're at and wait and see what he does with the ship first. But yeah,
you do that. The other two of you head up to the ship and begin to fly that away. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. As you are up there, Lan, give me a piloting check.
I can't inspire you. It's all you.
It's all you. Come on.
Little wobbly off the asteroid. The asteroid kind of, it's not a super solid surface. It's still big, but you know, it kind of pushes off a little rough, and you have to dodge through the asteroids nearby. But you manage well enough. But right away, Ufta, as he sits down at the comm console, Master Jolt, it seems that we have an incoming transmission.
That's
Lovely.
great.
Should I play it?
Indeed.
So he goes and hits the call to bring that forward, and it is audio. You hear Master Lanius. Padawan Valin, it is Master Lanius, and I just wanted to check in on your efforts. There is seems to be another snag in preparations for the trials, and I would hope that you'd be able to help out with that. Please contact me as soon as possible. You guys take off, and Lan, you go and kind of find a rock a bit away to give the guys that you have done so. Pull up behind that. Valin, you see Jag in his ship. He doesn't touch down. He hovers for quite a bit, and then takes off. And he goes, flies over your head, and then down below, the direction below the asteroid. As far as you can tell, it seems that he flies off and out of sight.
Okay. So I'll make my way. Well, let's see. So it's a pretty far distance. Like, it's not something I could easily cover.
To what?
when he went around. Like I'm trying to visualize how large this asteroid is.
Oh, right. Well, it's a good like
It's fairly
kilometer wide,
large.
yeah. So
Okay. Well, there goes that plan. I guess failing that, I'll walk towards the ravine where wherever it was where the crystals are. Just start scoping it out, taking a look,
okay.
and then if it looks okay, maybe trying to get them myself. But I'll wait and see what happens when I get there.
Still in camouflage, yes.
Yeah, it should be up. I don't. How long did it take him to
How long does
do
it
all that?
last?
I have an hour.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. He maybe gave a good 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Took off.
He's getting his Spotify up. It's okay.
Yeah. setting up his playlist for digging.
So you can head over to that crevice where you were before. Nothing has
Mhm.
changed. You know, he didn't do anything, so it's kind of as you left it.
That's kind of what I was most making sure. Like
Mhm.
he didn't just zip around the corner and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of people there.
Right.
Okay. So I don't have any equipment that would tell me whether he's there or not. So I guess we'll go over and do we see the crystals, or is it something we'd have to dig for to find them? Like we can get a sense of them probably through the force.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll try to go where they're clustered. Well, would I know if like sensors pick these things up very well? Like, is it just the force that detects them, or do sensors do a really good job of it too? Or is that anything I would know? Trying to get a sense of whether he would be able to detect where they are, or if he knows like he has a rumor and he's just going to dig for a while, kind of a thing.
He had his mining claim, and regardless of the legitimacy of that, you can say that if he is a legit prospector, he's gonna have the tools to go ahead and find what the crystals.
Okay. So I don't see any sticking out when I get there.
Right.
Okay. Well,
Something you
I'll
have to mine
go
them
and
out.
start. Would digging them out be break my invisibility? It says power ends if you attack or cast a power.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that would count.
No, nope, that's fine.
So I want to go and just kind of slowly start chiseling away to where they are, where I can as I find them, I want to get them to where I can actually pull them out really quickly,
Mhm.
but I don't want them to leave their space yet.
Okay.
I want them to stay where they're at.
Okay. Give me
Because
a sleight of hand.
Okay. The plan is to have them all ready to go and then scoop them up, because if he can detect where they're going and he starts seeing a mass of them get collected, he might get some ideas.
You start working away, and you get pretty good working down the line. Do these, and you get you get one kind of pulled out, you get another one pulled out. Still, takes you a decent a bit of time. Meanwhile, the other two of you, Dem and Lan, in the starship, just sitting there waiting. Haven't really heard anything yet from Valin, and Ufta turns and says, "Sir, I am picking up a reading on the systems. There is definitely still another vessel in the immediate area."
That's not good. I'm gonna ping ping Valin.
So this is another ship besides the guys? Like besides the two that were already there?
Ufta just said that he has a vessel on his reading.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, I get it. Who is it? Is it the same ship?
Different vessel.
So, Ufta reads over the data and turns back to Cannons. It does seem to match the same specs as the ship we just encountered.
All right, I'm gonna calm Valin and say, you better be hurrying up. He's coming back around.
Like, that's fine. We're how close am I to? I only have like what, 2 or 3 you said?
Right.
Okay. Be like, okay. Wait for him to just wait for my signal. I'm gonna try a little bit to get a little bit more free, and then we're probably gonna have to do a grab and run. I don't know if I'll be on the asteroid or not, so we might have to get some fancy flying involved. But
That could be arranged.
I'll do my best.
Master Jolt, should we notify Valin of the message from the Academy?
You know, I don't want to upset him, but yeah, I suppose we can. He's a pretty zen guy. I don't think this will break his concentration. Look, Valin, I don't want to disrupt you here, but Master Lanius gave us a call and said something's going on with the initiation. Your help is needed when you get a chance. So let's pick up the pace, get these crystals, and get on over there.
All right. While I work, could you can I guess if there's time, you could talk to Master Lanius, see what he wants.
We can do that.
He did say we needed to help out, so I didn't think this would be the only thing he wants us to do, but one thing at a time. I'll get right back to it while you guys do that. Wait for my ping, and hopefully we'll have this wrapped up soon.
All right, good. I'll tell him you're stealing, and then I'll cut the line. I call Master Lanius.
He's stealing. Stealing? Okay. Technically, he's correct. I'll get back to work.
Fine, you can leave some creds there. I'm sure it'll be the same. That's the same.
So I guess I want to keep an eye out for the ship coming, like if I see it or if it flies over or something. Just in case, that way I know if I have to hoof it or not.
Give me a perception check. As you're working away, you hear the sound of some propulsion jets nearby, but much quieter, or lower volume than would be a full starship. You turn around and you see the glow behind a figure. Jag looks like he has returned on foot. Yep, is walking towards the area where you are.
Does he look like he's noticed me, or I can't tell from this?
At this distance, not yet. No.
Okay. Well. So I want to. How much time have I had elapse? I was hoping I'd be keeping track of this, but
in regards to your camouflage.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm still covered.
Yes. Yep. You still at least a good 15-20 minutes.
Okay. Am I leaving any sort of tracks in
Definitely.
the ground?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Let's see. Is there anything around me that I could climb up that wouldn't leave tracks? Like a rock face or something? I don't know where I'm at, so I just...
Oh, I mean, more like footprints in the dust. Like you're not.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that stuff's all going to be around you anyway because you guys were just there.
Right. Okay. How far away is he?
He's closing in. So I'd say he's a couple rounds away.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there would be a way to time this so that I could face walk behind him and then immediately camouflage myself again. Shoot. Okay. He's got his full kit and everything, I assume,
Yes.
from what I can tell. Okay, I'm going to stay put just so I don't make more footprints. And what sort of gravity, like if I were to push myself off, would I just float, or is it you're still pulled down? Still large enough for an artificial gravity?
There's some pull, but it's very relaxed. So yeah, you would definitely bounce away a little bit.
Okay, so I guess what I want to do, I want to wait for him to get close and then jump over him.
Okay.
Or jump, not over him, but jump, I guess, laterally to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll wait and see if he did anything. And then after that, I want to sneak to his ship.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check first. Okay. And then now give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh. We have a inspiration, right?
Ew.
What a wonderful idea.
Yeah. What was that again? Stealth.
It's not me joking either, because that's a great idea.
Yep. I try to use them for pivotal moments,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Where it's like he's just powering through, like, no!
So, you feel that you pushed off well enough and push off to the side, but you see him react to something. He definitely notices something, you, but not you, as he looks around like a gust of wind goes by.
Okay.
And he just is looking around, and he looks down into the crevice and seeing that some of the crystals had begun to be extracted. Walks down, is just kind of looking things over.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You can hear some chatter from him. It's faint because it's contained within his helmet, but he's having a conversation.
So there probably wouldn't be a way to listen in on that unless he's over comms, right? So probably not gonna waste any time on that. So yeah, I want to travel in the direction it looked like he came from, at least, and try to be quiet about it, or try not to make
Yeah, I
too
mean,
much. Yeah.
you could probably have somebody, either yourself or have somebody try and get into the comm signal. Want to look at that, but otherwise, yes, you can continue to move on.
I think it would be wiser to try and move on,
Okay.
just to get out of his visual range. For
Give me
now.
another stealth check as you do.
Okay.
Okay. Much more quiet and careful. You begin to move away from where his position is.
Okay. So we're just gonna keep kind of walking and try to find his ship. At least from hopefully in the direction he came from, but who knows? I don't know what the terrain. Is it fairly smooth terrain, or is there just like
No, it's
crevices and?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty rocky, so.
So I'll try to move in the direction he was coming from.
Okay. Well, covering 100 kilometers, you can moving and moving.
It's 100 kilometers?
The asteroid is 100 kilometers wide, yes.
They
Sorry,
said one.
1
They
kilometer.
said one.
One.
I was gonna say, whoa.
But
Whoa,
still,
whoa.
yes, it's a long way.
Okay.
And at some point, your camouflage is going to flip.
Right. I just thought, like, would have seen something or anything. He didn't leave a trail because he probably he has a jetpack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I see anything up in the air? Like in a some sort of orbit?
Give me a perception check.
I think failing that, I might need to call my friends.
Yeah, you look
Uh-huh.
around. You feel you've got, other than what you can't see beyond obstruction from the asteroid you're on. Anything else? Notice anything else?
Okay. So I'll ping the other guys and like, yeah. Fly in low and try to be stealthy and see if he can find his ship. He didn't do exactly what I anticipated he would do.
How it goes.
Should be easy.
But if you can get in close enough and ping where he's at, it can at least help me navigate towards it, or if he's too far away, who knows, maybe you can come pick me up and drop me off at it and we'll deal with it that way. But it looked like he was also talking to either himself or someone. So if someone can tap into the comms while you're flying over here, that would be great too. Maybe that's something Ufta can do.
Yeah.
Just try not to let him know you're listening.
Ufta, can you see if we can get our friend Jag's call routed to us?
Certainly, I will. I'll see what I can do. Goes over and begins working away at the system. It comes over very spotty. He is able to get into that, but you're picking up a few different things here and there. Yeah, left a few of them. Scared him off. Yeah, when is planned. So, should be on their way. I'll bring the crystals by. You just catch a few different things like that in and out.
Seems our friend Jag is not an independent claimer of this asteroid. Seems to have a sponsor, someone he's answering to. Yeah, I'd like to do some fancy flying. Get over to where I'd like to see if I can find his ship. See if I can find the Jagmobile.
Okay, are you going up over the asteroid? You going
Mobile.
around or what?
I want to go. I want to go around.
Okay. Give me a piloting check. Valin, you're still just hauling across the rock?
Well, I think at this point, it's been what, about 45-ish minutes, you'd say?
Yeah.
I think we're nearing the time, so he would try to find some sort of crevice to at least take shelter in case he needs to
Okay.
redo it.
You find
so.
something that you think will give you some cover, but at this time you hear the loud roar of the spry hunter come by, and you realize that is way too close for comfort near the asteroids here. And not that he's lands running into things, but he just did not maintain his desired distance. And after that, you then hear the tighter sound of the propulsion jets as Jag flies over top of you in his jetpack, assumedly towards his ship. And he flies out past the edge of the asteroid field and dips underneath it.
He's not even in the asteroid field?
Sorry, the edge of the asteroid you're
Oh,
on.
I was like, damn, what a bold dude. I like this guy. I mean, he's a bit of a prick, but well, okay, so he just kind of went down and around so we won't even know where he's at. Well. All
and
right.
land. So you guys are flying around, and you get past that asteroid field, and as you do, you see the lights of something on another kind of in an alcove of another rock very nearby. As these bright lights come up, and then a large object come out from that, and it is in fact that ship. And the ship comes out, flies up into the air there, and then over your comms comes over. I told you, wormies, to get the hell out of here. You want to let me know why you're still hanging around?
You don't listen so well.
You should talk.
At this point, Valen will chirp in. Do I have the comm? Can I talk to him? Do I hear this?
Yeah, let's say he kind of
Okay.
just throws
I'll
it out to the open channel.
Chirp in, and I'll just tell him, well, that was my fault. I was kind of hoping there might be something else out here that maybe we could take back with us, but
Something else on my
unfortunately-
rock?
well,
On my
there
rock?
are other
Mine.
rocks out here, and I was just taking a look. So nothing got taken. So as far as that's concerned, it's still yours. It's still all here, unless you want some of that carbonaceous stuff that isn't really worth anything. I'll happily pay you a credit for it, because I'm sure that's worth more than what it is. But yeah, I did get kind of locked out of the ship, and they took off without me too. So there's also
Gosh.
that.
How convenient.
Did I mention I'm not actually a full-blown Jedi? Still training. Anyway, we're is there no way to convince you to lower your price?
That's the existential dread escaping my body.
Your soul being
Yeah,
sucked
absolutely.
out.
You know, you took off and then tried to pull a fast one and turned right back around to snake my crystals right from underneath me. You know what? Buy one get one free. Absolutely. No.
Really?
Now, on
Yeah.
your way, or I will blast you off of that rock after I blast your ship out of the sky.
Well, I don't think you really know what the Spry Hunter's capable of, but I understand what you're saying. So, tell you what, if you let my friends land, I'll get on the ship, and then we'll be off. Sound fair?
Give a persuasion check.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Oh my gosh.
Good time for it. This will be an immediate pick up and go. I will be locked on. And if there's anything beyond you taking off, there will be trouble.
No worries. As I was telling my friends, I'd rather leave here empty-handed than have to hurt somebody. Even though you're kind of a salty individual, you don't really deserve it. We can find these crystals somewhere else.
I'll
Or we
make
can
sure to
get
swing around,
different crystals entirely.
swing around your place and just try to steal Criff from you as well.
I'd like to see you try.
Do you live on this rock? Is this your home? Do I have this situation completely wrong? Do you live here? Are you homeless? The Jedi can help with that too.
You're making a real bad attempt at some humor here, son. Get your ship around and get out of here.
That's what we're doing. It's like, well, anyway, as Valin walks towards wherever they're parking the ship, he'll just tell the guy, he's like, well, if you still want to sell them, I'm sure Master Lanius can be swayed to buy them for 5,000 credits apiece. But I think the most I could get from you is one myself. I wouldn't ask these guys to get them. It's not their war. It's not their fight. But I could probably buy one off of you, if that. So come look me up when you're done. You know, maybe if you want 6,000 credits, make it worth the time and effort. We could do that. But I think you're right. It's time to leave. This is, I'm needed elsewhere. And Valen will just walk back up to the ship. A little defeated, but that's
Lan, you
is.
are able to swing down and pick up Valin. Valin are able to climb aboard. The Jag hovers very close by, ever watching, making sure that there is nothing further going on.
Like, I shouldn't have attempted a DAC plan without DAC actually here. That was the mistake.
Mm.
But as I said, we're at what's the closest planet to us?
You're in the asteroid field in the belt.
Well, I guess on the way to Almas, would there be another major planet we
No.
would come across?
Nope.
Okay. Well, Master Lanius said we had something else he needed taken care of.
He did.
Yep.
Why don't you listen to the message? And I just played the same message for Valin.
Okay.
So yeah, essentially he just says, hey, something else came up. Please reach out as soon as you can.
So when Valin gets on the ship, I guess he'll just dust himself off and go do that.
You call out, make a connection to Almas, and Master Lanius does answer on the other side. Young Valin, it is good to hear from you. Thank you for getting back with me. How are things going so far?
Well, your friend Snem, we got the supplies from him. There was a bit of a hiccup there. He had some old droids from the invasion of Naboo.
Oh,
At his
Snem, he's
plant.
always up to something. Great.
Yeah.
And the crystals.
Well, you see, we're not gonna be able to get them from here. I tried to negotiate. I tried to reason. I tried to even just grab them, and then we tried another plan where I was going to try to convince him to renegotiate with us at a much lower price than what he wanted. But
Unfortunate, but
yep,
we'll figure
unfortunate.
something out.
That's what I figured.
No bother. But
They're in
listen,
the galaxy and else places, so.
there is unfortunately another issue with items for the trials. It seems that, as I mentioned, there are a bunch of lightsaber energy cells coming in from Coruscant, actually, and they seem to have been diverted to a smuggler's holdover, and smugglers believed to have diversified into theft. So we are not able to get. They basically have been intercepted. But law enforcement, of course, is no help because they're currently held in Toliabiqua. So, would you be able to go and check that out and see if you're able to locate those and retrieve those, from these smugglers? I can't say anything about any other items they might have just after these power cells, which we know have fallen off course.
Well, I talk it over with the group, but I don't think that'll be an issue. I do have another, I guess, kind of encountered a slight snag with that last task. And I guess I'm just wondering, do we have any sort of discretionary fund we can use to get some of these supplies? Maybe if our original method of retrieval doesn't go so well? I have credits, but I don't have as much credits as that guy was after.
Everything we've tasked you with is taken care of, so we will. That wouldn't be necessary. If it comes to an issue in that regard, then that's something for us to deal with on our end.
Okay. So about that last job, that guy had a claim to the asteroid out there. I guess I'm not current on the Kularan regulations on that sort of thing. I didn't realize that would be an issue.
I guess I did not realize that either.
I apologize. I didn't
is
even
fine,
think
but-
it was a real thing. We did try to obtain them, but
Oh, it is something.
We-
Once you return to Almas, Valin, we can go through and debrief the situation and see what other options there are. I apologize for cutting you short, but there's many other things to continue to prepare. So,
No. Carry on. May the force be with you. We'll take care of this, Master.
as you as well. Best of luck.
Thanks. All right. So, Lan, you mind going on a trip to Talia Bequa?
I guess if I have to.
I can entice you with a nice field ration. Gourmet.
Well, if
They're
it's
the-
beef stroganoff, then yes.
You're in luck.
You hand out the ration, and it is swiped out of your hand as Jib stealthily comes up and sneaks it and runs off into the corner, gobbling it up with his little,
That's why I
little
buy 2 of every
cackling,
kind.
laugh.
I'll get you
Yeah,
another.
you-
Don't worry.
Jib, you scruffy little nerf herder, I'll get you one of these days.
He needs to eat too. Just
You take off.
You don't feed him?
he's not getting any treats after dinner. That's for damn sure.
You take off from the asteroid field back to Liabiqua outside of Genarius. As you've kind of done a back and forth here within the system, hoping that you'll have much better luck and easier luck with this third task to help out with the Jedi trials. Perhaps check in on Dak, see if he's feeling a bit better as well while you happen to be there back on Liabiqua and tag along.
Oh, how
Continue on.
convenient.
With that, we will wrap up here tonight. Come back as you guys head into Liabiqua to try and get these power cells.
Sounds good.
Wish I
Good
had
stuff.
50,000 credits.
Yeah, if
Ridiculous.
only.
It's like,
You guys as a
steal 'em
group
from
have that
him.
much, shouldn't you?
I don't think so. I mean, we're not far from it, but we don't
Yeah.
have. I don't think we have it exactly.
I think Lan is at like 25,000 credits now after winning like 14,000 last session.
Yeah. Your one of your counterparts is looking pretty good too.
Yeah, but it's his hard-earned money. I don't want to take it from him. It's not his fight.
Alrighty.
They'll find him somewhere else.
All right. Okay, good stuff, guys. We will see you in a couple weeks, and
Okay. Is that the
happened?
19th? Okay. Alrighty. Thank
have
you,
a
Todd.
good evening, everybody.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next time.
Thanks. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.